Come step back in time.
Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into history's most fascinating topics. Today, we're stepping into a time machine, setting the dial to ancient Rome. But we're not just sightseeing, we're on a mission to uncover the art of persuasion and propaganda in this grand civilization. Why ancient Rome, you ask? Well, it's not just about gladiators and grand feasts. Rome was a hub of political intrigue where the power of words could make or break empires. The Romans were masters of persuasion, using propaganda to control narratives, sway public opinion, and maintain power. But why should we care about ancient Roman propaganda today? Because it's not just a relic of the past. The techniques they used are still alive and well in our modern world, from politics to advertising. By understanding the roots of propaganda, we can become more informed consumers of information and more effective communicators ourselves. So buckle up as we journey back to ancient Rome to explore the art of persuasion and propaganda. Let's uncover the secrets of this ancient civilization and see what lessons we can learn for today. Let's set the stage. Picture this Rome over 2,000 years ago. A city bustling with life, the heart of an empire that stretched from the sun-baked sands of Africa to the cold, rugged highlands of Scotland. Rome was a city of contrasts. On one hand, it was a place of great wealth and opulence, with grand temples, bustling markets, and lavish villas. On the other hand, it was a city of poverty and struggle, with crowded slums and a constant battle for survival. But what made Rome truly unique was its political system. Unlike the monarchies of the East, Rome was a republic, at least in name. Power was shared among the Senate, the assemblies, and various magistrates. But in reality, power was often concentrated in the hands of a few influential individuals. This is where our story of persuasion and propaganda begins. In this complex political landscape, words were weapons. The ability to persuade was a vital skill for any Roman politician, and propaganda was their tool of choice to shape public opinion and secure their power. So, as we delve into the art of persuasion and propaganda in ancient Rome, remember this backdrop. It was a world of power struggles and political maneuvering, where the right words could change the course of history. Let's dive into the heart of our topic, propaganda in ancient Rome. But first, we need to understand what propaganda meant in this context. In our modern world, propaganda often carries a negative connotation associated with misleading information spread for political gain. But in ancient Rome, the concept was not so black and white. Propaganda in ancient Rome was more about influence and persuasion. It was about shaping public opinion and controlling the narrative. It was a tool used by politicians, generals, and even emperors to consolidate their power and sway the masses. For instance, consider the grand monuments and public works that adorned the city. These were not just for show. They were tangible representations of a leader's achievements, designed to impress the public and secure their loyalty. Or think about the speeches delivered in the Roman Senate. These were not just debates. They were carefully crafted performances designed to persuade and influence. So, when we talk about propaganda in ancient Rome, we're talking about a sophisticated system of influence and control. It was an integral part of Roman politics and society, shaping the course of history in ways that still resonate today. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this fascinating topic, exploring specific examples and techniques of Roman propaganda in our upcoming segments. Let's delve into some specific examples of propaganda in ancient Rome, where the art of persuasion was woven into the very fabric of society. First, let's talk about political campaigns. In ancient Rome, politicians were masters of propaganda. They used speeches, public appearances, and even coinage to promote their image and influence public opinion. Take Julius Caesar, for instance. He was known for his powerful speeches that swayed the masses and consolidated his power. He also minted coins bearing his image, a clear example of branding and image building that we can still see in politics today. Next, let's look at war efforts. Roman generals often used propaganda to rally their troops and intimidate their enemies. A famous example is the Roman general Scipio Africanus, who defeated the Carthaginian general Hannibal in the Second Punic War. Scipio used propaganda to boost the morale of his troops, painting himself as a hero destined to save Rome. This not only motivated his soldiers but also helped secure his political career back in Rome. Finally, let's consider public works. Emperors often commissioned grand buildings and monuments to showcase their achievements and win public favor. Emperor Augustus built the Areopagus, or Altar of Peace, to celebrate the peace and prosperity brought by his reign. This was a clear message to the Roman people. Under Augustus, Rome was thriving. These examples show us that propaganda in ancient Rome was not just about spreading false information. It was a tool for shaping narratives, influencing public opinion, and consolidating power. And while the methods have evolved, the underlying principles of propaganda remain relevant, even in our modern world. Stay tuned as we continue to explore this fascinating topic, uncovering more secrets of ancient Roman propaganda in our upcoming segments. Let's dissect the techniques used in these examples of ancient Roman propaganda and understand how they persuaded the public and what emotions or values they appealed to. Starting with political campaigns, Julius Caesar's speeches were a masterclass in rhetoric. He used powerful language and emotive storytelling to connect with his audience. He appealed to their sense of patriotism and their desire for a strong leader. His image on coins was a constant reminder of his presence and power, reinforcing his brand in the minds of the public. In the case of war efforts, Scipio Africanus used propaganda to paint himself as a hero. He appealed to the soldiers' sense of duty and honor, and their fear of the enemy. By portraying himself as the savior of Rome, he instilled confidence in his troops and fear in his enemies. This not only boosted morale but also helped him secure political power. As for public works, Emperor Augustus used the Areopagus to showcase the peace and prosperity under his reign. This appealed to the public's desire for stability and prosperity. The grandeur of the monument also served to impress the public and reinforce the image of Augustus as a great leader. In all these examples, we see that the Romans were masters of persuasion. They understood the power of emotions and values in shaping public opinion. They used propaganda to tap into these emotions and values, persuading the public to support their cause. As we continue to explore the art of persuasion and propaganda in ancient Rome, remember these techniques. They are as relevant today as they were over 2,000 years ago. Whether you're a content creator, a marketer, or just an avid learner, there's a lot we can learn from the Romans about persuasion and influence. Let's now discuss the impact of these propaganda techniques used in ancient Rome. The impact of propaganda in ancient Rome was profound and far-reaching. It shaped public opinion, influenced political outcomes, and even determined the course of history. For instance, Julius Caesar's use of speeches and coinage helped him consolidate his power and ultimately led to his appointment as dictator in perpetuity. His persuasive techniques not only won him public support, but also allowed him to carry out sweeping reforms. Similarly, Scipio Africanus's propaganda during the Second Punic War not only boosted the morale of his troops, but also helped him secure political power back in Rome. His portrayal as a hero resonated with the public, ensuring his popularity and influence long after the war ended. Emperor Augustus's public works, like the Areopagus, were not just grand structures. They were symbols of a prosperous and peaceful reign, reinforcing his image as a great leader. This helped him maintain control over the empire and ensured his legacy. But the impact of Roman propaganda wasn't just limited to politics. It also influenced art, literature, and culture. The narratives and values promoted through propaganda found their way into Roman sculptures, paintings, and writings, shaping the cultural landscape of the time. As we delve deeper into the world of ancient Roman propaganda, we see its impact in every aspect of Roman life. From politics to culture, the power of persuasion shaped the course of history, leaving a legacy that continues to resonate even today. Stay tuned as we continue to explore this fascinating topic, uncovering more about the impact and legacy of ancient Roman propaganda in our upcoming segments. As we wrap up our exploration of propaganda in ancient Rome, let's summarize the main points and offer some final thoughts on the topic. We've seen how propaganda was a powerful tool in ancient Rome, used in political campaigns, war efforts, and public works. Politicians like Julius Caesar used speeches and coinage to promote their image and influence public opinion. Generals like Scipio Africanus used propaganda to rally their troops and intimidate their enemies. Emperors like Augustus commissioned grand buildings and monuments to showcase their achievements and win public favor. These techniques were not just about spreading information. They were about shaping narratives, influencing public opinion, and consolidating power. They appealed to emotions and values, such as patriotism, duty, honor, fear, stability, and prosperity. The impact of these techniques was profound. They shaped public opinion, influenced political outcomes, and even determined the course of history. They also influenced art, literature, and culture, shaping the cultural landscape of the time. As content creators, there's a lot we can learn from the Romans about persuasion and influence. Whether it's through powerful speeches, compelling narratives, or impressive visuals, we too can use these techniques to connect with our audience and make our message resonate. As we continue to create and share content, let's remember the lessons from ancient Rome. Let's strive to create content that not only informs but also inspires, engages, and influences. Because, in the end, that's what great content is all about. Thank you for joining us on this journey through ancient Roman propaganda. We hope you found it as fascinating as we did. Stay tuned for more intriguing topics in our upcoming segments.